Welcome to Screen to Speed, Driver's Edition, where we sit down and talk with the women participating in the Screen to Speed competition. So, what exactly is Screen to Speed? Well, Screen to Speed is an all-women's sim racing competition developed for women by women that seeks to create a pipeline that brings more women into motorsports from sim racing. So you might be asking, how does it work? It's simple. The competition is open to all women worldwide. The first step is the qualifier, where it's not just your skills on the sim track, but how you engage with your community that will determine your overall rank. From there, the top 20 women from the online iRacing qualifier will go to Las Vegas to compete in the IRL competition during the Pennzoil 400 event. The winner of this event will have the opportunity to seat in a Kelly Moss Porsche race car with a chance to show off her skill in real life. Drivers also have the opportunity to win $15,000 in the next level sim racing rig. So without any further ado, let's welcome on tonight's driver, Martina. Hey Martina, how's it going?
Hey Derek, very well, thank you. How are you?
That's great. I am doing well. Thank you so much for just taking the opportunity out to be a part of this and just joining me and talking about sim racing as well as how are you doing in the competition. So let's get started. I always love to ask this question first because we are a worldwide event, and so therefore we have people from all over who are in this competition. So tell me, where are you interviewing from today?
I am based in the UK. I was born
Nice.
and raised in Bulgaria, but the UK has been my home for 12 years now.
Nice, nice. Well, thank you so much for just, being a part of this. I know just based on working with other people from the UK, it's not early right now for you. And so I definitely respect you being able to stay up and participate in this interview. Martina, tell us, where did you get your start and how did you get your start in sim racing?
The very short answer is my husband. The longer answer is that I've been a petrol head and motorsports fan since I can remember, and I can thank or blame my parents for that. I grew up watching Formula One, sometimes recorded on VHS tapes, and I remember watching Schumacher battling it out with Hill and being completely mesmerized.
Nice.
So ever since then, I've wanted to drive, but there really aren't many opportunities to get into motorsports in Bulgaria. So I was living out my fantasies through games such as the Grand Prix series and whatever the MotoGP sim of the time was called, and Need for Speed, obviously. But then life took over, and it wasn't until just before the pandemic, when my husband upgraded his sim rig
Hmm.
and asked me to give it a try. And initially, it was very bad. I couldn't get out of the pits. I was crashing all the time,
Wow.
but I stuck with it. So yeah, in September 2020, I created my own iRacing account, and I've been racing on that platform ever since.
Nice. So what this is I know we had a pre-conversation, so this is what I'm really curious about is that you started sim racing a couple of years ago, roughly, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't really fare too well in the beginning. I'm really curious to know, like, what made you stick with it?
Sure. First of all, I love a good challenge. I am
Okay.
incredibly competitive. So I wanted to prove that I can do that with actually putting in more than 10 minutes. So I
Hmm.
decided I'm gonna stick with it. And the next thing was actually finding a car that I enjoy. Because I have a full-time job, I have a career that takes plenty of my time. This
Okay.
is my hobby that I do in my free time, and if I'm not having fun, then I'm not going to spend any time on it. So I spent a few months in the Skippy after getting out of rookies in iRacing, and then I discovered the Radical SR8 car, and I completely fell in love with that car, and it was just so much fun to drive. And then then it was kind of easy to put in the time and the practice and get better.
And the time and the practice definitely worked in your favor because you are doing quite well in the competition currently, and we're going to get into that. But before we do, there's something else that I also find quite amazing about your story is that okay, you started in sim racing, right? Like you have this passion, this love for quite some time, but you finally decided to like okay, try it out, didn't work out, but you're like you know what, I'm going to stick it out, I'm going to keep doing it. But then you did something even more. You went from the screen literally to the actual track in real life. Tell me like where did that come from? Like you have this drive that is really quite amazing. you know, yeah. What has the experience been like? You know, what made you decide to go from just the screen to actually racing in real life as well?
Yeah. So I've done a few track days. Again, it wasn't until my husband bought me a track day voucher like 8 years ago and said, "Come on, you should go give it a try on track." Up until then, I literally had no idea you can just go and do that in your own car. So I gave that a try. Obviously, I enjoyed it, but never really did anything more. But after getting like more time into sim racing, we went to a karting track, and I had
Mhm.
done a few arrive and drive karting sessions. Again, nothing competitive, but we went back to a karting track after everything opened again after the pandemic. And I had actually improved my times at the kart track by over 2 seconds just from sim racing. And I was like, okay, I need to give track driving another chance. So
Mhm.
I did a few more track days. Another competition came around again for getting more women with no experience into racing. I didn't fare very well in that, but that probably motivated me more
Okay.
because I just said to myself, that's not going to be the end. I can do better and I will do better. So I stuck with it. I did a few more track days, and last April or May it was, I took the Motorsport UK racing driver test. So
Mhm.
I now got a entry level, basically a race club license to race in the UK. And yeah, in the past few months, I've been looking at different championships, what I could possibly do, and I've decided, well, what better car for a rookie than a Mazda MX-5, right? The
Mhm.
answer is always Miata. So I'm going to do a season in the UK MX5 Cup starting in April.
That is impressive. Now, I know that you I forget how you said it, but you were you don't see yourself that as being one of these amazing drivers. You have a
Yes.
very humble spirit, and that is very respectful. But I have to tell you that like in 2 years, you went literally from watching something to playing it to actually living it, and that is impressive. I mean, that's quite a drive. And so if anything, I just want to give you your due and your respect, and I hope that like people can see it as well, because you know you that's inspiring, you know. So
Oh,
you
wow.
know,
I'm
keep pushing.
blushing.
Keep pushing. But and so yeah, I just heard that story. I was like, that's the first thing I'm leading with. So I needed to do that. But let's talk a little bit more about screen to speed.
Thank you.
um, what got you interested in screen to speed? And as you talk, we're gonna be watching some of your time trial right now. So what got you into screen to speed?
Yeah, so actually, it was another Twitch streamer that I know and I like very much and I follow. It was Ash Vandelay
Hmm.
who gave me
Yes,
a
Ashley's
shout and
great. Yeah.
said, "Yeah, this is happening. Go and try it out now." And at first, I was like, "This sounds too good to be true." But yeah, she basically gave it a thumbs up and she said it's real, just go for it. So yeah, I cannot resist a good competition, and the mission of screen to speed
Hmm.
of inspiring and bringing more women into sim racing as a valid and accessible path into motorsports is something very close to my heart, something that uh, that's basically the reason why I started streaming myself, basically
Okay.
hoping to show people that I'm female, I am not the fastest driver. I introduce myself as a perfectly average wannabe racing driver. You can still have fun, you can still enjoy yourself. And I mean, ask me again after my real life season ends if I've succeeded. But I'm hoping that I will be able to say at the end, yes, you can actually go from sim racing to real life and do
Yeah.
well.
Now, okay, I was going to stick to the screen to speed stuff, but something just hit me. You have a full time job, right? You sim race and you race in real life. Where I'm trying to count the number of hours, and where do you find the time to do this all?
It's yeah, it's pretty busy. It's only gonna get busier. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I imagine that sim racing, at least the iRacing part of it, is
Mhm.
gonna have to take a little bit of a step back once I start preparing for real life.
Mhm.
Because I'm gonna use the simulator as an actual training tool to practice in the
Yeah.
right car model and at the right tracks. Um, but yeah, I guess I I don't like mind staying up late. So,
Got you.
and
Got
I
you.
try to combine things that I enjoy. So that's working out well for me.
Nice. So let's talk a little bit more about screen to speed. What is it? I know that you're used to. You said, I believe the radical. What was the car? Radical.
SR8 is the
Yeah,
old
SR.
car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the SRA, and then of course the Mazda. But you're in a NASCAR here, and
Yeah.
on the road course. What has that experience been like for you? I mean, from the look of it, it seems like you're doing pretty well. But what has it been like for you?
It's been a learning curve. That's for sure. A steep one. I had to buy the car. I had never driven a NASCAR before. Still think I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with it. But again, putting in the time, putting in the
Yeah.
practice, and just trying to focus on fundamentals. Because even though different cars have like different physics, different tire models, they behave differently, the
Hmm.
fundamentals of racing are the same, both in the sim and in real life. Racing line, braking points, brake pressure, getting on the throttle, it's the same. So it's just all
Yeah.
about finding that balance. And yeah, I'm still experimenting. I mean, I'm a second off the top positions. They are rapid. But yeah, I think I still got a little bit more in me with a little bit more practice.
Yeah, yeah. Now you've already sort of done screen to speed, literally, right? But I'm curious to know, getting the opportunity to race in a Porsche. I don't know if you've ever done that before, and if you have, I would love to hear more about that. But like, what is that like for you? Are you excited to possibly be able to race around the track in a Porsche?
Of course, I mean that's a pretty amazing opportunity, regardless of what the competition is or anything like that. It's yeah, not a lot of people get the chance to do that, and anything that I've done so far, both in sim racing and with my rookie season,
Hmm.
I've done myself. So I don't have any sponsorship. I am not looking for
I
sponsorship.
was about to say this could be a
Um,
plug, but go ahead.
Nope, I am not looking for sponsorship.
Okay.
I am stubborn and I just want to prove myself to myself, um, and make sure that there's something I can give back to
Nice.
sponsors. So yeah, personally, I would never be able to afford that opportunity in the Porsche. So that's definitely an enticing one, and obviously, it would be an amazing learning experience one way or the other, whether it
Yeah.
progresses to something more or whether it's just that one time. I mean, especially with the coaching,
Hmm.
I've done track days before with coaching in various cars, and I've always come away with so many learnings. And to be honest, this is still my main goal, kind of both for sim racing and for my rookie IRL season. It's to
Okay.
learn and improve.
Nice, nice. Now, of course, we all want to win, right? But whether it's the chance to race in the Porsche or the 15K or the sim rig, but beyond that, what are you hoping to get out of the screen to speed experience?
I would love to bring visibility and hopefully inspire a few more people to get into sim racing. I mean, like I said, that's the main reason that I started streaming. It is
Mhm.
something that I'm passionate about. So yeah, just helping drive that mission of bringing more equality and representation from women and from minorities into the world of motorsports is yeah, that if I manage to inspire one more person to try it, I would be feeling fulfilled.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think based off of your drive, you've probably inspired. Well, you inspired me. So just know at least
Thank
one
you.
person. You get the one person. It might be two now out there after listening to this. Um, and this is a good segue because this whole competition is not just out there with no support, right? We have some really amazing organizations and companies that are taking a step forward and trying to usher in this opportunity for women to be a part of racing. And I would love to get your thoughts on like the companies like Pennzoil and Ford who are in esports, who are really creating this pipeline and in this opportunity for women to be able to get into sim racing. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean that's amazing to have that support of those household names that are so recognizable. I mean, I am not a NASCAR fan, and still, when I saw the livery, the yellow with the pencil, I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I know that." And Ford. I mean, what can we say? Like
Yeah.
motorsports heritage all around. And this is and maybe I might be like ignorant or uninformed, in which case I apologize, but this is the first time I'm hearing of big household names and brands stepping in to support more females in sim racing. Obviously, there's a lot of that happening in the real world right
Yes.
now, which is amazing to see. But in sim racing, I had not seen an initiative like this before. Um, so yeah, it is really admirable, really inspiring, and um, one of the reasons I wanted to be involved, because I feel like this can really be something big.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, and I do believe that you are correct in that like this is the one of the first times that you have these major companies and organizations really standing at the forefront of this, and so that's pretty cool. Now, Martina, again, you are doing quite well right now. I believe you are ranked number 8 in the top 10. Yes, number 8. Um, what's your secret to racing this track?
um, it's a very, very tricky combination, right?
Mhm,
I mean, I'm not familiar with the car. I'm usually a road racer, so I didn't have a problem figuring out the track. But the car and the track is so challenging. And it for me, it I actually have to drive a little bit against my instinct. Because as a road racer, it's usually brake the latest and get on the throttle really soon. But this
mhm.
car, this track, does not seem to like that. So I actually need to keep telling myself, slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Yes,
So
those wise words.
yeah, so basically I'm trying to go slower to go faster.
Yeah, yeah. I trust me. I When I first got into sim racing, I thought it was all about speed, and I was like pedal to the metal all the time. Let me see how fast I can go. And then I had a coach, and I was like basically in the driver's chair or the passenger's chair, and just sitting and watching just effortlessly how they were moving, and it looked like they were going so slow, but they were like 5 seconds ahead of me. I'm like, "How is this possible?" And, yeah, I quickly learned that it's not always about, how fast you can go. It's really about, like, can you find the best path and can you, make the car move effortlessly. So, you are definitely
Yeah.
right. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Wow, that you just really brought up something for me. So let's play a little game. It's not really a game. It's like my favorite segment, though. Part of it you've already answered, but I'm gonna throw in some curveballs to make you answer something differently. But I like to call it "What is your favorites?" And so the first thing I want to ask you, and you can't name a car that you've already mentioned, but what is your favorite sim car outside of the car you've already mentioned? If you had to choose
Yikes.
another, is there a second?
Porsche Cup.
Porsche. Nice. Okay. Which is there a series? Which series?
Yeah, so on iRacing there is a Porsche Cup series.
Hmm.
I don't drive GT cars. Don't hate
Okay.
me. Um, but yeah, the Porsche Cup car is a completely different beast. I generally like cars that are raw and
Okay.
don't have any driver aids, and it's all
Well,
about skill. So the Porsche
I would
is
say
one
the
of those.
Porsche doesn't get, yeah, it's yeah. So another thing I learned is when I was in ACC, my coach was like, if you want to learn how to drive, drive a Porsche, because you drive that car, you'll be able, you have to figure out how to make it work. And then once you figure that out, you'll figure out every other car. So you
Yeah,
are definitely correct in that. And it doesn't help that the tank is, you know, located in the, yeah, so
actually,
in
yeah,
the front,
yeah,
yeah. So then it
yeah.
just swerves around.
Engine there, tank there.
All right. What is your favorite track,
Alton Park.
and why is that?
Uh, it is just a track I really go well on.
Okay.
Again, I probably like the non-standard track. I don't really like the F1 GP tracks, for example. I find them a little bit boring and straightforward. But tracks like Alton, Barber, Oran Park, the new one on iRacing, Rudskogen, tracks that are technical and not
Hmm.
too obvious. So basically, where it takes very fine control and modulation of inputs to get it right.
Hmm.
So yeah, those are my favorite ones.
Nice. Okay. And then, do you have a favorite setup? Meaning, do you have a favorite wheel that you like to use, or something reliable? What do you go to?
Yeah, so the very first time I tried sim racing
Hmm.
for like 5 minutes, and I said it's not for me, was probably almost 10 years ago on an entry level setup with a play seat and Logitech wheel and pedals. And I was like, nope, I
Good.
can't handle that. Then after that, my husband got his rig, which is what got me more involved, with a Simicube two wheel, Husingveld Ultimate pedals, and a GSI Formula Pro Elite wheel.
Okay. All right.
So that's what I ended up getting for my own rig.
Nice. That's
And we
that's
now have
that is a
his and
nice setup
hers
to have.
rigs.
So do y'all now you got me asking all other questions. Do y'all race? Who is the best racer in the house? The best
My
driver?
husband is, how I like to call him, my faster half.
Nice. I mean, but it must be pretty cool to to be able to share this hobby and this experience with someone. So that's really cool.
Yeah, and not
All
get divorced yet. So
Yeah,
all good.
well, hey, that works too. So as you already know, this competition is not just about how fast you are on the track, but how much engagement you can get off the track as well. And so here is an opportunity for you to be able to share, your social medias, your platforms. Where can people find you? How can they support you as you do this endeavor and participate in this competition?
Yeah, so in this day and age, you can obviously find me on social media. Instagram, MJ Ward 23 is my main account, where I mostly share about motorsports and now and again other things. And I also have a Twitch channel. I stream at least once a week, to basically try and show people that you don't have to be the fastest to have some fun, and again, hopefully inspire more people to try sim racing. Um, you can find me on twitch.tv/mj_ward.
Nice. Well, Martina, thank you so much for just participating in this and being a part of this great conversation in this competition. I definitely think that you bring something to it, and I look forward to seeing what else that you have and be able to do, and hopefully be able to see you in Las Vegas. For everyone else out there, if you are interested in knowing more about Screen to Speed, please make sure that you check us out at www.screentospeed.com, and where you can learn more information about the competition and the series. And so before we get out of here, I do have one last question for you, Martina. All right. And that question is this: if there is one thing that you can say to a young girl or young woman about why they should get into sim racing, what is that you would tell them?
Just do it and don't let anything hold you back. If you have a passion, just go for it. The worst that can happen is people say no, or you don't do as well as you hope, but you have to try. And if it doesn't work out first time, try again.
Nice, nice. Well, wise words from a woman who is truly driven and has, quite honestly, I mean, in my opinion, ha- you have leaps and bounds over. Like, I've been doing this for, I think, racing for like 4 years, and I'm nowhere near you. And so, like, you are truly inspiring, and hopefully, someone out there has taken that to heart. And so, just want to thank you again so much for just taking out the time and making the time. I know it's late, but making the time to just share your story and share your experience in this competition. Look forward to you hopefully in Vegas. All right, take care, and to everyone else out there, have a great day or evening whenever you're watching this, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Thank you for having me. Bye.